Hello, mic check test 1 2 3 4. Mic check test 1 2 3 4. Hi again, everybody. We're here. Bart Archer should be joining me. He's Johnny come lately here tonight as he's reaching for his headsets. Go ahead, buddy. There you go. There you go. There he is, Bart Archer.
Hey, we made it work. We made it work.
Wow. That's amazing.
A day full of challenges,
Did you notice that you had the teams on the wrong side of the roster sheet?
I didn't really care. I just got the information.
Hey,
I figured you'd make your necessary adjustments.
Do you realize how grateful I am for you for this?
Yeah, you tore the paper in half.
Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Prairie Arena. It's the start of the Tradition Edina Holiday Classic featuring 4 teams spanning over the course of the next 3 evenings at 6. Well, it always says 6 o'clock for the start, but they had some mic kind of skills clinic going on all the way up to the last minute. And then, you know, we should be halfway through the first. But so we're sorry if you've tuned in and wondering what the heck's going on. So the game will be starting shortly, and we should have a good one. We're going to see some high-powered offensive capabilities from the Eden Prairie Eagles that are really led by their big offensive force. Ben Steves, to me, you know, he's a guy where, you know, we're used to seeing the flashy players around these parts, but this guy's about as pure of a hockey player as you're going to get, Bart. Number 6 in the Eden Prairie sweater. He's going to be something else.
Well, and he gets a lot of help from number 9, John Middleset. John Middleset, playing center, has some defensive responsibilities, but him doing his job allows Steves to really get some space and to show his wares, and it's very impressive.
We've got the ice mic tonight. Could you hear the Zamboni going by there?
Absolutely.
Dave Buss putting down another nice sheet. So this is the official start of the high school hockey season in my book, Bart. I mean, you know, everything else is pretending. Now this is contending right here.
Well, it's hard to disagree because it just seems like the high school season starts to gather the interest of the fans. You know, when you first start out, it just seems like people kind of come in and come out. But now people are starting to get invested in watching high school hockey. What a better venue to get started than the holiday tournament in Prairie Arena.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's always a great place for people to descend upon this great arena and the great hockey fans of Minnesota. Todd Grover is in the house. We're going to have an on-air production meeting. Bart, go ahead and talk about this matchup real quick.
Well, the Elks come in. They're 3-4. They're led by senior goaltender Josh Kojal, number 35. He should be pretty busy tonight against this 4-0 Eden Prairie Eagles team. But they're led by defenseman Joe Greniak, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. A lot of the offense is driven from the back line, and he is generally involved in that mix, as is Jack Ferry, another senior defenseman, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points. So they do get some scoring from the back line. Primary players up front to focus on will be number 9, Zach Michaelis, senior forward, 8 goals, 5 assists, 13 points, 2 power plays, and even a shorty. And Austin Humphreys, a long drink of water, number 10. He's a senior as well. He's one of the captains, 5 goals, 7 assists, and 12 points. Those are the 4 real focused offensive players on this team, but there's a lot of players that can skate and some players that can put the puck in the net. In fact, I think they have a couple players with a couple goals or more. But this Eden Prairie team is coming in on fire. They're playing some of their best hockey, averaging 5.5 goals, 4 per game, and only allowing 1.5. So there's a 4-goal average disparity between Eden Prairie and their opponents. Granted, we're only 4 games into the season, but that's a really nice trend that I'm sure Coach Lee Smith would like that to develop or continue to develop. But the power play in the Elks is about 12%. That's one kind of stat that jumps off the page. 3 of 25. Eden Prairie, not an undisciplined team, so the chances that the Elks are going to get tonight might be few and far between, but they have to make the most of it. Where Eden Prairie comes in with a robust 29.4 power play and a stingy 94.4 penalty kill. Eden Prairie's number 1 in the state for good reason, and they've really shown their wares so far, but that kind of gives you a little bit of an insight. But the players to watch in the Eagles, I don't know if we have time for all of them, but Ben Steves, as P. Wagner affectionately said, number 6. Number 9, John Middleset. Watch number 8, Drew Holt. He's a second-line player, but he can fly. He can play first line on virtually any team in the state. And they also have a nice, big, young, talented man named Riku Brown. He's kind of captured the attention of the broadcast crew anyway, but he's a big, kind of like Austin Humphreys on the Elks. He's a big, long drink of water that has some good puck skill as well. Mason Langenbrunner back on the point, along with Cam Langfels and Luke Middlestad. So Eden Prairie, Pete Wagner, what I was about to lead into is Eden Prairie, the makeup of this roster kind of mimics the roster of the Edina Hornets of last year, their state championship year, where they have solid goaltending, very deep defensive core, and plenty of offense. Very difficult to defend against, but Eden Prairie's poised for a big game tonight, but Elk River, I think, is going to be ready for them.
Yeah, they are going to be ready for them. And now Elk River has had themselves an interesting start to this early season with their hockey club, hovering in and around about the 500 mark. You know, they opened up with that 5-0 win over Anoka. Then it was a 4-3 loss to St. Cloud Tech. 4-3 to Forest Lake. They defeated Rogers 5-1, lost to Centennial in a close one. That by a score of 2-1. Lost to Blaine 6-1, and then took down Armstrong Cooper by a score of 3-1. So, you know, they've got great goaltending, and that's the one thing that you can always put into consideration.
Well, we were very familiar with Kogel from the last time, but if you'll notice, Pete Wagner, they did lose 2 of their games in overtime, and they win 1, lose 2, win 1, lose 2, win 1, lose 2. So they're in that kind of that sequence right now. But in the games they've won, they've outscored their opponents 13-2. So when they play their defense, they have a greater chance for success. They're going to be challenged tonight.
Now, the Eden Prairie Eagles always bring out something new, and something borrowed, something new. Is that the old saying? But,
something blue.
Yeah, you know, but they've always got some sort of new sweater on for the Holiday Classic, and they keep Chris Bonvino and Gemini Athletic Wear gamely employed. So they have a new one indeed. So
something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue.
There it is. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Wow, look at you bringing the heat. Riku Brown is going to get the start up front wearing sweater number 21, Bart. Big frame that can get things done.
Well, I did talk about him a little bit on the onset, but he is certainly a player to watch. Eden Prairie in the reds and Elk River in the whites.
You had mentioned, Bart, that Josh Kogel is going to get the start?
Yes, sir. And Kogel 3-4, 2.51, .914 save percentage with a shutout.
Joe Griniak is going to get the start. He's growing and getting bigger and stronger. Up front, it's going to be Jay Kotzian. And at forward, it's going to be Marcus Vertel.
Just a sophomore.
And Austin Humphrey will also be up front for Ben Gustafson's Elk River Elks, the tradition Edina Holiday Classic, about to start in a matter of moments. We'll pause now for your national anthem. That's that time, folks. We're going to play hockey here tonight as Eli Andrew gets the nod in goal for the Eagles. Bart, we saw him at the North-South Classic. He was very good in goal.
Well, Petey got a shutout in his first high school start. Where do you go from there?
Nowhere but up, right?
Well, he's going to get challenged tonight. This Elk River team can skate. They're a little bit more experienced than the team that we saw last year, and they have a lot of players returning. They did graduate Joe Foss, the stalwart defender, and Mitch Moss, but they're coming back with some talent. They can play defense, and they have a good goaltender. But as far as Eli Andrew, he's going to have to make some saves, but I'm sure he's up to the task.
Be sure to give us a shout out. Our guy John Sands is on board. He'll send your messages to us.
Hello, John.
From YouTube, and we'll be saying hello. Also, don't forget, coming up tonight at 7 o'clock, the Eden Prairie Eagles are going to be doing battle from the Pagel Activity Center at the MNHockey.tv, and they'll be taking on the St. Michael Albertville Knights, who might very well have the very best logo in all of high school hockey.
Here we go.
And we are now underway here from Braemar Arena as it's the Elks and the Eagles. Eagles wearing their red sweaters as they play this to center ice. Oh, picked off. Look out. Back the other way they go. Fertel with it in on goal. Scores! Oh, he wasted little time. It's 1-0 Elks.
Peter, and that's going to be Fertel's first goal of the year, but what a big one it was. Just a bit of a misplay in the neutral zone. Put the puck right up Fertel as he jumped the route. They tried to go side to side, and he just came in, used his body to block out the defender that was closing quickly, but he just went 5-hole on Andrew and put Elk River on the board early. Boy, we're just 17 seconds into this. Elk River already has some energy. Now it's up to Eden Prairie to kind of get their wheels about him and respond. Big goal for the Elks.
Marcus Fertel with his 7th of the season. You heard from Pat Milan as he works the public address here from Braemar Arena. Faithful just getting settled in here. Greniak now to the neutral zone. It's Zach Michaelis across the line to the corner as he's watched in by Mason Langenbrunner. Eagles dig the early 1-0 hole. These teams have played each other for quite some time, and we have records that go back to 2005. We'll get into those a little bit later on. As that puck rolls under the stick of Zach Stroh, back into his own zone he goes, watched by Holt. Back in around to the corner. On comes the on-charging Eagle, that's Reagan Shepard. Shoveled back up in the air now by Stroh into the neutral zone. Batted down with the glove. It's going to be Casey across the line as he loses an edge. Now it's going to be the Eagles to center as they battle in front of the penalty box area. Back into regroup mode they go with Casey. Plays it rink wide on the stick for Drusilla as he's forced back into his own zone. Ahead they go, that gets away from the stick, and icing will be your call with 15:22 to go. 1-0 Elk River. That score does stand correct.
Well, Elk River got a bit of a break in their own zone. One of their players impeded the progress of a Eden Prairie forward checker right in front of the referee, knocked him down, opted not to make the call. I think it's a good non-call, but hopefully the referees are just going to let the kids decide what's going on. Really good energy out of the Elks so far. Seems like they got some confidence as well.
John Middlestat now on the forecheck for the Eagles. He rides off a check from Kotzane. Now it's played to the near corner. Eagles try to cycle behind, but that's cut off defensively there, and a fine play by Frankie. Steves is there as he cycles back in behind the net, reaching his Greniak. Outlets to the right wing side, cut off by Steves up high. Gets the stick nice and busy as he turns up ice. Ben Steves leaves that off for John Middlestat. Poke checked at the line by Kotzane. Now it's transition. Anderson across the line, and deep it goes. Luke Middlestat will take that from Andrew. Oops, that's off the end of the toe of the stick there, as he'll have to regroup and work it up the right wing side. Luke Middlestat finds Steves in transition. He can shoot it from anywhere. Gets away from one man. Now there's a backhand by Luke Middlestat following up. Steves was there with a return shot. Kojo shuts the door. It's Humphrey back the other way. Here's Austin Humphrey to the left wing side. Now it's going to be played back into the corner. That one's deflected away. You know, they've got Humphreys on the official scorecard here. Is he any relation to former Golden Gopher and former Hopkins Royal star Chris Humphreys?
I don't think he is. I think
it's
more
Humphrey.
Right.
That's being funny.
Kyle Humphrey, number 10, 1988. Edina Hornets. It's his nephew.
That one was handled by the stick there. Skyberg plays that one at the line. Now the Eagles hustle that one back across with Stansberry. He leaves off to the right wing side. Reaching for that was Jorgensen, one-timer. Kojo will be tough to beat. He's a good goaltender here for the Elks. Give him the lead. He knows what to do with it. Now it's going to be right wing side again. Langenbrunner, wrister, pad save. Kojo, Jorgensen's there. Tried to work that through the wickets of Stroh. And now it's to the slot area. Shoveled back up through center. And that'll make it the length of the ice for an icing call as we'll wind it back up into the Elks zone.
Wow, it seems like Eden Prairie's starting to get a little bit of a rhythm right now. Elk River just content to get the puck down the ice and get a whistle so they get some fresh legs out there. But Eden Prairie starts to kind of get into their mode where they try to get down and cycle. They're winning battles down low. But Elk River did a good job. Only one good shot on Kojo during that sequence.
Bart, why don't you give us a quick scoring summary for those that just joined us early on in this game?
Well, all I got's the goal, and I got Friedel, and I have it as his first goal. I think I'm more correct, I hate to say, than Pat Milan on this one because he's not wrong very often, but a big goal it was, and that was just 17 seconds into this first period, and that's where we stand right now.
Now back in the neutral zone it goes. Off the boards, played back in deep.
In fact, that goal should have been unassisted if my memory serves correct, because it was a giveaway in the neutral zone by the Eden Prairie Eagles. But it seemed like Eden Prairie was a little stunned by that for a moment, but once they started to possess the puck and move their feet a little bit, they seem to have settled down a little bit. And now the challenge is on Elk River, but they have an offensive zone faceoff now to Andrew's left.
From the right point, that wrister misses the mark, as that might have been partially blocked. And to center ice they go as it's Luloff with it. Shovels that back into the Elk River zone now. Checked on the play is Kotzane. Now it's Holt as he fights off a check. Holt back up to the line. Rink wide it goes. Loading up and shooting for the Eagles was Busby. That gets through, turned aside. From the left point, swinging down is Britton to the corner. Britton, nice job with the body to keep it alive. Anderson tried to play it through for the Elks. The Eagles will regroup now back into their own zone with Batchelder. Now it's Holt. He's prolific across the line. Nifty pass, and I go, oh, that's off the crossbar. Oh, my word. That was a great setup there. Holt found Batchelder, who wanted to shovel that, tuck that underneath the crossbar. We can't go to Toronto. There's a wrister by Britton. That was blocked in on goal. Puck's loose. Nice job to block that shot by Nick Hughes of the Elks.
Well, indeed it was. But again, it was Batchelder that came in, drew the goaltender, and then tried to go top shelf on the backhand. It went off the crossbar. They did rule it no goal right away. Good positioning, but then Eden Prairie kind of turned up the heat a little bit. Elk River dodged the ball. They survived that one. Now they just have to work on getting the puck out of the zone.
Back up to the line it goes now. The Eagles in possession. They play this back down for Brown. Oh, look out. Kogel just got that one covered. John Middlestad said that was a little quick on the whistle, taking care of the goaltender there, buddy.
Yeah, he really was, but it was throw. The puck, I think, danced over his stick and went right by the post where Kogel had it, but Middlestad was waiting in the wings.
Steves was there. He fans on that one, back up through center ice. Humphrey was there momentarily. Steves comes back away with it as he turns up to the right wing. Drop pass, missed the mark for John Middlestad, and now they're going to work it back with Michaelis across the line. Humphreys, wrister, went up high on Andrew, missed the mark. Back into the corner it goes. Now Humphrey again poked off his stick. Now it's going to be Steves with it. He can fly. To the right wing side, puts on the brakes. Now he finds Middlestad. Steves scores! Tic-tac-toe. We're tied at 1.
Well, either that's going to be Steves or it's going to be Riku Brown. I think Steves put it over, put the shot on goal, but I think it was Brown that actually redirected that in. Just a really good sequence by this team. It was
you can see that right there on the replay.
Middlestad to Steves, and I think Riku Brown redirected it in. Now it's 1-1. Different playing field as it stands, but Eden Prairie finally got some reward for a lot of hard work. Elk River just seems content to just kind of batten down the hatches. They're going to have to figure out how to get out of their zone with some efficiency, but this Eden Prairie forecheck is just tenacious.
Eagles now, it's transition time across the line. Kotzane is there, and in deep that goes. You know, the thing about Steves, which is so impressive, Bart, is he can accelerate with the puck, see the ice at the same pace and tempo, and find the players he needs to find and get the job done. He's just so efficient in his decision making and his ability to pick up the tempo and still maintain skill sets.
Well, and he's a focused player the other team's focused on, so he gets the puck, they kind of migrate to him. It frees up some space for
Score!
Holy moly,
there's a shot from up high, and that might have been deflected in by the Eagles. Johnson, take a look at this one on the replay.
Well, I think it was Johnson, and that'd be his first goal of the season. But I don't know if Kogel saw that
one. He was the
but
first one through the line, so I would say so.
Well, I'm going to write it down, and it's in pen, so we're going to run with that one. But again, Eden Prairie's got some energy. It's up to this Elk River squad to get back on their balls at their feet instead of back on their heels. But Eden Prairie just coming in waves. They seem to have the extra attacker out there, and they're getting the puck to those open areas.
Eagles regroup. Luloff back to center. Now it's across the line, Batchelder. Holt, just misses the mark. That's tough to defense there. Big collision there. That was Skyberg who came together with Luloff. Now back out of the zone, Michaelis. Here come the Elks, down by 1 across the line. 10:22 to go in the period. Humphrey, pad save. Andrew, ooh, what a great opportunity there. Now to the right wing. It's poked back into the neutral zone. Ooh, this is high-flying hockey here from Prairie Arena. Just the way we like it on a Thursday night to open up the Edina Holiday Classic. The tradition Edina Holiday Classic. Long pass, good stick there to deflect that away for the Elks as they're going to send that one in deep on that play. That was Fertel. He had his team's first goal. Now it's going to be Holt back in across the line. Shallow angle. Nice purpose shot there. Pad save of the rebound, but covered up by the defense. Greniak was there. There's Brown looking out front, but instead they're going to turn this one back up the line. That one goes up off the glass. Now it's going to be Luke Middlestad, pad save, now turned back up and handled by the defense, and Stroh. He finds his man angling across, and Frankie in on goal, and that's Andrew to make the save, turns to the near side. Frankie again on the forecheck from the left point. It's Stroh, turned aside by the Eagle defense to center. Down goes Steves, offside at the line. He collided. He's going to plead his case, but nothing to plead there, Bart Archer.
Well, he tried to split the defenseman, and they did a pinch on him. And actually, he did precede the puck over the zone. He lost the puck just before the blue line, and it's fortunate for the whistle because otherwise the Eden Prairie forward would have come in all alone. But this Elk River team has got to kind of get back to playing their positions. They seem to be chasing the play a little in their own zone, and they're really just freeing up more space for Eden Prairie to work their magic. So if they can get a little bit more structure in their defensive zone, get the puck out with some efficiency. But now it just seems like they're content to just clear the zone and deal with the next battle through the neutral zone.
Well, indeed, and you know, it's what's been interesting is the speed of the Eagles has been on full display here.
Indeed it has.
And it wasn't right away,
no,
but it certainly is. We're seeing it now, and they're going to force the tempo.
And we haven't even mentioned Drew Holt's name yet.
John Middlestad. Oh, we have a few times.
Okay.
He's had a couple of chances there. He had that setup to Batchelder, who went crossbar and down. That looked like that juggled it, but it didn't. It's too bad they put the water bottles down the back of the net like the NHL. I don't like that. I want to see
no
that
fun
thing.
anymore.
I want to see it fly.
Well, the nets. That's why I thought they put the nets up, actually.
I know. Back in across the line they go. The Elks stop, though. It's going to be Brown who steps back in. Big power forward. We have been, well, I shouldn't say we, speak for myself, but I've been very impressed with his game early on, Bart. Size and skill. Well,
he's got some speed, too. I mean, big guys, they might not look as fast, but he keeps up with the play. And
he's reminds me of Big Dave Brown.
Well, except he can skate a little bit better. I hate to say that against Big Dave.
Just using the number 21, buddy.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Back in behind the net now. Langenbrunner with it.
It's going to be a long night,
from the dot. Oh, we got plenty of hockey to play here. Now at center, Stroh plays this behind, and that one goes up and out of play.
Well, that one will come out just outside the Eden Prairie zone. 7:54 left in this first period. Eden Prairie answers back now, has a 1-goal advantage. 2-1 is where we sit. Quick summary of that goal. It was indeed Tyler Johnson, first goal of the season from Langfels and Luke Middlestad, and that was around the 6-minute mark. I don't think Pat Milan gave me a time, so I kind of ballparked it on that one.
Well, that's why you get paid the big bucks here at the MNHockey.tv.
When does that start? I'm just curious. I'm just kidding.
Next year.
Fair enough.
Next year. 2020.
We do it for the love of the game.
Line, and on goal, there's Langenbrunner, the save, shot and the save by Kojo.
Well, Langenbrunner's name is going to be a name we're going to say quite a bit. He's really a good, solid defenseman that can do a lot of different things for Coach Lee Smith. He plays a solid defense. He's got a stick zone that's beyond compare. Plus, he's got some offensive skill. We saw him be very effective getting his shots not only through traffic but on goal as well. So it's a name we're going to say quite a bit throughout the next 3 days.
Battle up along the end boards. Played through every one, and the length of the ice it goes. No ice on the play as Andrew was there to set up. He leaves back over to the corner. Now it's going to be Langfels that plays it over to his partner Langenbrunner. Here's Mason Langenbrunner from center in deep behind Kojo. He's going to let that one go all the way through. Batchelder opts to let his buddy get railed instead. Good decision. That was Luloff. And in on goal it goes. Kojo the save.
Well, it was a nice entry by Eden Prairie. Just set it around the wall, and they had plenty of support. They maintained control, put it back out front. And Drew Holt tried to put some pressure on Kojo, but Kojo did a nice job of crawling that puck, holding on to a face-off to his right.
Here come the Elks back in across the line. Pergandy is there as he's going to regroup into his own zone. He's being watched, stick in by Casey. And now it's back up to the line. Towing it neatly there are the Elks. On that play was Shutt. No relation to former Montreal Canadian great Steve Shutt. Did he wear a Los Angeles Kings sweater at any point, Bart Archer?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
I just want a hockey DB that for me.
Yeah, I'll do that between
Yeah,
periods.
when you got like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'll do it between periods. Oh wait, we only have 13.
Here come the Elks. Back up through center ice. Across the line it goes. There's Shepard. Checked on the play. That was Shutt there. Off the boards and back into Eagle territory goes. And icing your call.
Well, it looks like Elk River's kind of stabilized a little bit. They aren't chasing the puck quite as much. They're getting some possession, pushing the puck forward. But now they have to manage the neutral zone. Now that they're getting out of their zone with a little bit of efficiency intermittently, now they have the challenge of dealing with all the responsible Eden Prairie forwards that come back to support. Eden Prairie's a very good defensive team. Everybody talks about their goal scoring. This team can play defense as well.
Now it's John Middlestad with it from the end boards. Middlestad watched on the play. Steves behind the net. He'll gather this one back in. Bumps back for Middlestad as he's watched by the Elks. That's Skyberg. Slot, but not out. That's off John Middlestad. Gloved down by Michaelis. 13 points in the season. 8 markers already for his squad. At the line, that's good. Look out, there's a shot in front. Rebound! That one trickles just wide. Boy, this thing's reminded me of that Edina Elk River game that was like 11-5, and it was 6-5 at one stage midway through the second period. It's wide open just like that.
Well, that was a pretty good opportunity by Elk River. That's got to give them a little confidence, maybe a little energy moving forward, but that puck did not miss by much. Otherwise, we're talking about a tie game right now, so something to build on for the Elks.
Stroh checked there, and it's off the boards, and angling over to make the play was Grassel. And there's a whistle on the play as the net was jolted from its moorings.
Well, I think it was Steves that initiated the net coming off, so the faceoff is going to be outside the Elk River zone. But it was behind the play, so it really didn't have much of a factor on it. But again, you have to do the maintenance, keep the net where it's supposed to be. But like I said, Pete, it looks like Elk River is starting to get a little flow, getting some positives, and hopefully that'll translate into a nice up and down game. But so far it's been Eden Prairie has the advantage, but Elk River is not going to go down quietly. Just under 5 minutes to go in the first period, Eden Prairie up 2-1.
And icing the call. Back the other way we go.
Well, I thought he had the red line, but apparently the line's been in good proximity, made the proper call, but another icing by this Elk River team. They're having some success in the dots, but you don't want to tempt fate too many times, having too many own zone faceoffs, especially against this Eden Prairie team. They've been pretty good in the faceoff dots so far. That'll be Batchelder against Casey.
Couple sticks lifted there as Holt plays this one up to the line. Langenbrunner, rink wide, quick wrister by Langfells, turned aside by Kojal, who's been busy. That one bounces wide of the mark.
Good exit.
Puck rolls back into center, checked on the play was Stroh. And now the Eagles work this one across the line. Down goes Batchelder. You know, they don't call that from behind, but that couldn't be any more of a check from behind. Yeah. I mean,
only
you
by
don't
definition.
see them, it's squared to the numbers. It's
right.
Okay. And now it's the Eagles looking to transition. Humphrey plays this one across the line. He got cut off in the neutral zone. The Eagles now will try to play this through Humphrey. Nice job to force a turnover the big frame. Michaelis on the move, chips that one over the top of the goal. The big carom over to the far side now. Eagles will try to play this one to the line, couldn't get it through, and that one's in on goal and held on to by Andrew.
Well, this is the line that Coach Gossefson puts out. He wants some offense from it. Humphreys did a nice job of maintaining control of that puck around the offensive blue line. They got the puck in over to Michaelis. Is it Michaelis or Michaelis? I want to make sure that I get that right because I've been known to mess it up. We're going to call it Michaelis. But some good work by Humphrey down low. Him and Michaelis are going to be the ones that they're going to look to for offense, as it's already been Fertel that's provided some offense so far. After that, they get a little challenge.
Steves was there. Now he gets some help from John Middlestat as he's going to be checked on the play. That's Greniak. Nice physical posture off the end wall. Back into the corner now. John Middlestat better hurry. He gets knocked to the ground by Greniak with a nice check. Michaelis with it to center. And now it's reached for by Breton. Oh, what a big there spill by your official. I mean, I want to say he looked good going down, but he just really didn't.
He looked worse getting up.
That was terrible. It was like me getting up off the couch.
It was not that bad.
You have to do 3 pushes. Now back in.
And a little helper.
Hey, at least I'm not like one of those guys who gets winded tying his skates these days.
What are you trying to say?
I'm not saying anything. Shoveled back up into the neutral zone.
I got a little defensive, didn't I?
You did. I wasn't even talking about you.
Well.
Now it's played back up through center ice. But while we're at it, now the Elks will play this one through. Foss was there. Well, he's had a storied career with these Elks. Now it's Stansberry.
Certainly a recognizable name in the family, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and they've all been really good players. Now down goes Shutt to the corner. He had a trailer to the high slot. Look out, late man in, wide of the mark. Big Karam off the lively Braemar end boards. Now it's going to be played and handled by Johnson. Eagles race to the near corner. As once again, they'll try to find some real estate with 2 minutes to go in a first period. That's been very entertaining here from Braemar Arena.
Pretty effective forecheck by the Elks.
Yep. They've been good in transition, too. Sent back in by Jorgensen for the Eagles. Now for the Elks on, that's going to be Kotzane. That's off a stick and back into Eden Prairie territory with 1:53 to go.
Well, in fact, the closing moments of this first period, and I know that both teams want to finish playing the right way, playing strong, don't take any penalties, but offensive zone faceoff for the Eden Prairie Eagle team. But I really like the way that Elk River responded in the last 2 or 3 minutes. If they can sustain that, it's going to be a good contest for the rest of the night.
Now back up to the line, Langenbrenner. There's a wrister that's in on goal, turned off to the side. Now Luloff up to the line. There's a quick slapper. Oh, they got numbers down low as that puck trickled through. Holt now comes away with it. Gets that one back up to the line. Now it's Langenbrunner with it. Surveys. Left side for Holt off the stick. Back up to the line. Langfels, Langenbrunner. Back over for Langfels. Wines, shoots. That one did not get deflected as Colchel got the pad on that, turned it to the right corner. Wow. Referee was playing some great D there. They battle off the end boards. Luloff, 1:05 to go in the period to the line. Sustained pressure by the Eagles. Now it's going to be Langenbrunner. Back over for Langfels. Langfels shots deflected, chopped at, played back into the center ice area for Langfels as he comes away with it. Here's Langfels looking to the right wing side, or check that. That was Langenbrunner, my bad. Kind of the same frame.
Yeah.
Back behind the net, there's a pad save. Colchel, nice job, back out of the corner. That was Batchelder bidding there for his squad.
Well, one thing Elk River's doing very, very well since the first drop of the puck is defending in front of Colchel. They always have a man in front of the net and sometimes two, but they're doing a pretty good job of clearing the sidelines. Luloff got behind one of the defenders and in front of Colchel, kind of an owly moment for Elk River, but again, they survive, but they're playing far more responsibly in all 3 zones, and it shows in their play. Just 30 seconds left in the period.
As they continue to position, Brown plays this one up. Steves, that is, fanned on that one. Forced to regroup back into his own zone.
Oh.
Delayed penalty coming up. We're infraction free here, Bart.
Yeah,
and we get one.
That's going to be Blake Johnson. That's going to go for Elk River, number 21 for Tripp. I just think a bit of a delayed call, but if it's an infraction and you saw it, he's going to call it. But that's exactly what you wanted to kind of guard against in the last 12 seconds of the period. But now the onus is on Elk River to get through this challenge. But their first challenge is 12.2 seconds, face-off in their own zone. So very big face-off for both teams. Boy, there's Coach Tom Sotterdell hanging out with Coach Willard Icola. How many wins between those coaches?
Quite a few. Hooking at 16:47. We'll see the Eagles power play employed here. Bart, a good period, 2-1 in favor of Eden Prairie at this stage of the game.
Well, indeed. And I think Elk River just starting red hot the way they did, 17 seconds into the period, scored a goal, and that was Fertel that scored that goal. Then Eden Prairie kind of struggled a little bit for about a minute, and then they came back, really flexing their muscles, put in two. Riku Brown and again Tyler Johnson, the goal scorers for Eden Prairie, but 2-1 is where we are. But I think, aside from that penalty in the last minute of the period, I think Elk River really responded in the last 7 to 8 minutes and started to kind of get engaged in this game and started to be effective in the way they were playing and forcing Eden Prairie to work. So I think the second period is going to be an awful lot of fun. Thanks
for joining us here tonight. Plenty of high school hockey to come over the next 3 days. We've got this game going. We've got also streaming on the mnhockey.tv. We've got an automated game going with Hopkins taking on the Bloomington Kennedy Eagles. Then we have the St. Michael Albertville Knights with the coolest logo in all of high school hockey, taking on the Minnetonka Skippers. Matt Harrington on the call there. And then, of course, we've got 2 big games here tonight, 2 games tomorrow. We have the American Family Insurance Catholic Boys Hockey Showcase coming up this weekend. 4 big games from the Trier rink there as well. Great matchups. We'll also have the Edina Holiday Classic. We'll also have Edina girls in action against North Ray County, and then Minnetonka and Chaska. So, Jan, if you like high school hockey, we're going to have it all for you right here at the mnhockey.tv. We continue to try to grind and bring you all the games we can. We're going to hear now from a message from our sponsors, American Family Insurance, and, of course, Tradition Companies.
Too heavy? Try it.
I got it.
Lift it up. 1, 2, 3. Good. Looks great.
Wow. This looks amazing. Can I help you make a few?
Sure.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Derek. Nice to meet you. So how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. So you're an expert.
Yes.
Can you do one with my name?
Sure.
D-E-R-E-K?
D-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K?
Yes.
Okay.
What's the ultimate dream for your business?
I really wish I had more bracelets to make every single day.
What do you do with the money?
We have this hunger project that I give back to the kids that don't have enough money to buy food.
So the more bracelets you make, the more money you raise, and then the more kids you can help out. How long have you had this dream?
10 years.
So you're 6 years old and you had the dream for 10 years. That's pretty good. That's someone that knows what they want to do in life.
Yeah.
Okay, now, what do you think about this?
Ooh. Yeah.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Okay.
You know, it's pretty easy to be proud of the fact that we've been in continuous operation for almost 120 years. Now, obviously, Ennebeck Construction started that, and they're a big part of it. You know, since then, in the 20 years that Tradition's been around, we've built on to that legacy, and you know, I think we've created our own legacy and our own brand, which is pretty special and unique.
We've kind of coined the phrase between all the nutrition companies and led by the bank's Keystone program. However much money we make, we give 10% of our earnings to the community and lots of time as well.
Our business model is centered around building communities, you know, whether that's, you know, providing the dirt work or building the houses or providing the financing. We're really, our success is really part of the overall community success. The fact that we live in the communities that our customers live in as well. We're side by side with them. And really our promise to our customers would be that we reinvest back into the communities and we help make the community stronger, where if you're doing business with, out-of-state competitor, those dollars are going out of state, but we're putting them right back in the community.
I just turned you up. There you
Oh,
go.
my word.
Bart, give me a summary of the period.
Well, I don't have shots because I got too busy socializing. I pulled a Pete Wagner between periods and talked to people. But Elk River opened the scoring at 17 seconds. It was Fertel scoring his first unassisted. And then at the 5:53 mark, it was Riku Brown with a second for Eden Prairie. Assist from Steves and John Middlestadt. And then at the 6:13 mark, it was Tyler Johnson from Langfels and Luke Middlestadt. And that's where we are, 2-1. But Eden Prairie starts this period on the power play for 1 minute and 48 seconds with a late hooking penalty in that first period. So Elk River's got a challenge right out of the gate, Pete.
They do, down 2-1. They don't want to go down 3-1.
Well, even the pace of play, so they're going to have to try to keep it not only out of the net, but they're going to try to keep it as best they can off the sticks of these Eden Prairie forwards. Because once they get into rhythm, it's hard to kind of stop them. But if you can interrupt them, maybe prolong that rhythm from happening. But here we go, second period. Well, it is Luke Middlestadt. Drops it off for John Middlestadt, trying to make sure the Holidays, everybody's getting along, so they're passing the puck to each other. But Middlestadt, nice zone exit up on the wing. And that's Steves racing to the puck with Grenyuk. They hammered around the wall. Nice keep by Eden Prairie. And here's Middlestadt. Walking the line, gets it back over to Stansbury. Stansbury tries to get it to John. Over to Steves in the corner. Comes out to the dot, walks his way out. Back over to Stansbury. Stansbury a little dangle, keeps the puck in. Kind of a trying moment for the Eagles. But good possession on the power play, but it's Stansbury that just sends the puck behind the net. Riku Brown gathers it up and out of play. We'll see who originated that one. Whether it looks like the faceoff is going to be in the Elk River zone, so off an Elk River stick. But nice job by the Elks to keep this Eden Prairie team at bay, keeping them to the outside, keeping it along the blue line. But now faceoff in their zone. It's going to be Austin Humphreys against Drew Holt. Very big faceoff for this Elk team with just 59 seconds left on the penalty to Blake Johnson. And that's going to be Busby keeping it in. And this is Batchelder. Once he gets going, he's hard to stop. Over to Holt. Holt fires. Blocked by traffic in front, and Humphreys gathers the puck, clears it down the zone. Second period, so they're going to get some new fresh legs out there to defend. Just 34 seconds left on the penalty to the Elk River's Johnson. And here comes Langenbrunner. Checks up, regroups. Going to try it again. Gets around the first attacker, Michaelis. Up to Holt on the left side. Checks up at the circle. Back to Langenbrunner. Are you about done with this, Pete?
No, I'm running a business that's too big right now.
Oh, fair enough. A big shot by Langenbrunner. Boy, I'm a little out of my comfort zone here, everybody, so bear with me. Back to Langenbrunner. Penalty is now expired in 1 second, so back to 5-on-5. Pretty good kill by the Elks as Johnson rejoins the play, but Eden Prairie still in the offensive zone. This guy's clear, chipped out of the zone, and here comes Johnson just out of the box. He's got some fresh legs, gains the zone, but nice jumping the route by Langenbrunner, and back comes Batchelder. Gains the zone, flies to the right side, go on the deflection to Bergande, but just couldn't connect. And as Eden Prairie maintains possession, and this is Drew Holt. Drew Holt back to Stansbury. Stansbury tries to go short side. That kissed the post, so nice job by Kogel to defend that area. But a big shot by Middlestadt just wide. It rings around the boards, and this is Stansbury.
Keep going, Bart. You're doing great.
No, I'm not, but I'll keep trying. All we can do is let our abilities take over.
You are, actually.
In the words of Kirby Puckett. But Eden Prairie with some sustained pressure. But Eden Prairie just doing a great job of barring the door and keeping that puck in the zone. And now it's Bergande once again, walks it in, puts it out front. And Johnson gets his second goal of the season. Not the greatest goal call, but Eden Prairie scores. Johnson back-to-back goals, one in the first period, and now he starts early in this second period. Eden Prairie opens up a 3-1 lead, but Johnson, that's his second goal of the game, second goal of the season. But you can sense it coming. Elk River, I think they were a little fatigued after that penalty kill. I don't know if they got a chance to get fresh legs off the ice, but just a nice redirect beat Kogel 3-1. Now it's really up to the Elk River Elks to roll up their sleeves, get to work, and put some pressure on Eli Andrew, the junior goaltender for Eden Prairie. Hasn't seen a shot yet, but starting out a man down is not an easy way to start a period against the Eden Prairie Eagles squad. I think Bergande's going to get at least one of the assists. And here we go. Eden Prairie wins the faceoff. And this is Steves. Steves back to Busby. Busby over to Britton. Nice exit by Eden Prairie. Middlestead to Steves, back to Middlestead. Try to do an offhand shot. Good defense by the Elk River Elks, and the Steves back behind in his office behind the goal. But back comes Elk River with some speed out of their zone. And this Elk River, and this Justin Anderson gets it deep. And down to Frankie. That's Bjorn Frankie. And here's Anderson right here. Out front, puts it on the stick, but couldn't contain that one, was Caden Gressel. And Riku Brown tries to do a cross-ice pass over to John Middlestead. Nice interruption by the Elks. Puck push back into the Elk River zone. Here we go. And it's Justin Anderson in a battle with Busby. Busby did a nice job of tying up Justin Anderson, who had a pretty good speed, pretty good forward progress, but he did a nice job interrupting that, allowing Andrews to actually contain that one. So 13-17 left in the second period. Eden Prairie scores to put a 2-goal advantage, but an offensive zone faceoff for this Elk River Elk team. Very big faceoff. I thought Michaelis won that draw, but Eden Prairie with possession. Langenbrunner walks behind his goal. Turns it up. Nice move. Gives it up to Holt. Holt's got some wheels. But he skated into Batchelder, and Batchelder snuck in just ahead of the puck. So offsides for Eden Prairie. So faceoff's going to come outside the zone, 13:03. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. The Edina Holiday Classic kicked off. It's a great time of year. It's going to be Batchelder against Michaelis. But it's Eden Prairie that wins possession. This is Langenbrunner, chased by Humphrey. Over to Langfels. Langfels a little too far for Luloff, and that goes all the way down the ice for an icing. So another offensive zone face-off for Elk River. Eden Prairie's been very stingy in their own zone as far as face-offs. But Elk River has a great opportunity right now. It's going to be Michaelis on the draw. And Eden Prairie coach Lee Smith opts to put on some new forwards, fresh legs. So it's going to be Middlestead against Michaelis in the face-off circle. 50-50, but it's Eden Prairie that comes away with it. Riku Brown chips it up to Steve. Steve's left-handed shot on the right side, but then a little bit of a challenge at the blue line by Jackson Skyberg, the sophomore defenseman, forced Steves to make a cut, and it was Brown that just snuck in, just a stride early on that. So it's going to come outside the Elk River zone, but just wanted everybody to hear the doors. But now it's going to be Caden Casey, just the freshman, going against John Middlestead. But Eden Prairie again with possession. Steves dumps it in. Kojal couldn't contain it. It's Riku Brown along the half wall. Elk River comes in to support. And they can't clear the zone as it's Langfels that redirects a shot on goal. Kojal outside the blue makes a good save, holds on to that rebound. There was John Middlestead waiting in the wings if he couldn't contain that one, so nice job by the Elk River goaltender to hang on that one. Face off to his right, 12:28 left in the second period. Eden Prairie pressing, up by 2 goals. I like the way Eden Prairie Elk River responded after that penalty kill. Yes, they got scored on, but that goal against didn't seem to limit what they're doing or change their body language at all. But Elk River, nice clear out of the zone. Puck's being caught up to by Blake Johnson. But again, it is Stansbury that gains it along the horn for Johnson. Johnson chips it, but interrupted by Elk River. But Luke Middlestead steps up to thwart that forward progress, and it's Middlestead that's going to come in on the left side. Puts a little dangle on Greniak, but Greniak very good at forcing him to the outside, limiting that offensive push. And I think that was Shepard that actually took that shot just wide. Stansbury keeps it alive. Seems like Elk River starting to chase a little bit, but their positioning's a little bit better. But it's just Eden Prairie. Now they have numbers. Johnson again. Boy, he's getting selfish, all these shots he's taking. He wants the hat trick. They want to give it to him, too. Keep feeding him. He's got the hot hand. But Elk River, in desperation, knew that their wheels were wobbling, so they just sent it down the ice. Just 11:39 left in the second period. But Eden Prairie starting to work the walls and winning the one-on-one battles, getting the puck into the area. But once again, Elk River very responsible in front of their own zone or in front of their own net, limiting whatever chances that Eden Prairie might have. Face off to Kojal's right. One again by Eden Prairie. Boy, they're lights out in the face-off circle this period. Back to Drew Holt. Back out in front. Ooh, it was Luloff that nice redirect by Kojal. Good anticipation on that. Took away the high percentage shot down on the pillows. And it was Luloff that just couldn't put it past him and tried to go 5-hole. But nice job of Kojal to close that gap. But Eden Prairie, another offensive zone faceoff. Elk River, if they're going to keep having faceoffs in their zone, they have to have some success, but they get some success, at least clear the puck back out of the zone. This is Stansbury. Stansbury just dumps it in deep, and it's Luloff going back to get it against Skyberg. They meet, but Eden Prairie comes up with it. Air pass through, big windup by Stansbury. Just wide is Drew Holt, back out front to Luloff. And there's Holt back to Middlestat. That's Luke Middlestat with a shot just wide. Lively end walls, but it was deflected, so pretty harmless. Another shot just wide by Eden Prairie. A lot of play down in this Elk River zone. They just can't solve the riddle of getting out of their zone with possession right now, but that's a credit to Eden Prairie, not a detriment to Elk River. And here comes Luke Middlestat back in the zone left side. Goes deep, shallow angle shot, just misses. Riku Brown waiting in the wings for that follow-up rebound, but Luke Middlestat, the defenseman, down low, making things happen. But here comes Elk River with a little speed. They just, tired legs just dump it in as Andrews dumps it in the right corner for Stansbury. And fresh legs out there for Coach Gustafson and the Elk River Elks. Good positioning as well as Stansbury surveys the situation, goes right side to Drew Holt. Holt up to Batchelder. He's got some speed. He's got some skill too. Does a little spinorama, and now it's Eden Prairie that's going to go for a bit of a line change. But this one's back to Britton. Britton over to Busby. Busby kind of whiffs on that shot, but it's down low to Steves. Steve maintains control along the wall. Referee get out of the way for Elk River. Here comes Elk River, and this, I can't get a number on that one, but here's John Middlestat for Eden Prairie turning the play up, and here Middlestat to Steve. Steve goes around, tries to go short side. Kogel, nice save. Puts the rebound in an area where they could actually manage and negotiate, but Steve's nice keep on that one. Keeps the puck in the zone. Goes left side dot. Good defense. Probably Grenyuk if memory serves. Just very effective defenseman. Nice block by Humphreys on that one. But Elk River still maintaining, but they're not getting into the promise area. So Elk River, even though they're chasing the play, they're keeping the puck out from in front of the net. But Eden Prairie working awful hard, and that's what you want. And this is Busby down low in the corner. Puts it off to Middlestat. John Middlestat behind the goal. Does a dipsy doodle, back out. Oh, and that's a goal. And I believe that's going to be Steves that's going to get that goal. I can't see it. My old guy eyes not that far, but Middlestat just did a turn and fire. And I think that was Steves that scored that one. And for Steves, that's going to be his 5th goal of the season. He's had many opportunities. He made that one count. But Steves from Middlestat, 9:21 left in this second period. Eden Prairie boosts the lead 4-1. Elk River's got to get some pressure on Anders. For everybody that's joining us, Pete will be back. I promise you that. I'm just trying to beat the bilge pump and keep the water out of the boat from sinking right now, so just bear with me. But Elk River in their own zone. Pretty good exit, but to Eden Prairie Eagles, so all I can do is chip it up off the boards. And here's Langenbrunner. Checks up. Really good pressure by Casey on the forecheck. It was Steves that got that goal. Riku Brown. What? Well, and that is 7:39. So Johnson has 2 for Eden Prairie, and Riku Brown and Steves have the other goal. So they got a couple different lines getting involved in the offensive mix, which is kind of the hard thing to defend against this Eden Prairie team. They can come at you in a lot of different areas with a lot of different people, but kind of a scrum behind the Elk River goal. But it's Elk River that comes up with that puck, and they try to clear the zone, but nice keep by Langfels. But now it's going to be Casey that rechecks, tries to go to center breakout, and here comes Elk River with some speed through the zone. This is Johnson, and we're speaking of Blake Johnson. Sends a shot wide. Good defense by Langfels on that one, and there's Batchelder up on the wing to Shepard. Shepard with some speed, checks up, gives it back to Batchelder. And Batchelder back on the point to Langenbrunner. He winds and fires just wide. Lively inboards, kicks that puck out right on the stick of an Elk River, and he clears the zone. So Eden Prairie on the regroup dumps it back in with Langenbrunner, and the defensive pairings are that Langenbrunner and Shepard go off for some fresh legs. Here's Luloff. Just sends it out front, but now Elk River has the puck coming through, had some possession, just misfired on that pass, and they're going to call an icing. It was a really good idea to spring Blake Johnson loose, but a little bit too much on that. Not a great angle on that pass, but hence a face-off in the Elk River zone to Kojel's left. 7:46. Oh, not much.
That's actually a pretty good job, buddy.
That's as good as I can do, man.
I was in full meltdown mode. I was in triage mode of the MNHockey.tv.
Well, at least you had company, Pete, because I was in the same boat. But we just do what we can do.
No, you did a good job, man.
Well,
I
good
mean, I
might
might as well
be-
just let you finish out the
Oh,
session.
I don't think so. We'll call it a public service, and I'll
I
get
have
back
to
to
say
doing
the
what I'm doing.
numbers seem to stay relatively level, so you did a good job.
I didn't
You
scare
lose
anybody away yet.
Yeah, nice
It
work.
wasn't from lack of effort, Pete Wagner.
Oh, my word.
I'd like to say hello to Teresa and Sean Junker, who's tuning in tonight. They have a young man, Braden, that plays in the Elk River system, a very familiar name to people that are part of the Elk River Hockey Association.
There's Kojo with a nice save there.
Well, he went down kind of funny, and I don't know if it looks like he's getting some attention right now, but hopefully he's going to be okay. Obviously a very important member to the success of this Elk River Elks team. But Pete, this period, what I guess you'd miss is Eden Prairie's basically played a mistake-free period so far. They've cut the rink in half. Not a lot of snow down here in the Eden Prairie zone, but Elk River really doing a pretty good job of defending. Yes, they've given up 2 goals this period, but overall, Eden Prairie just come in waves. But they've done a pretty good job of defending so far. Here we go.
Eagles, or the Elks rather, back across the line. That's deflected away as Humphrey was there momentarily. Quickly up the ice, left wing side. It's Batchelder with speed. He muscles in on goal. Wanted to go short side. Koljal shuts the door. Down goes Batchelder. Penalty coming up. Let's take a look at that one on replay if we can. We're not going to be too long now. It's going to be handled by Holt. Extra attacker on. Nice quick feed to Batchelder. Poke back into the corner, and that's finally whistled down.
Well, I will say the Eden Prairie goaltender has some wheels. He got off the ice pretty quick. But it was Humphreys that's going to go. Austin Humphreys, a senior captain on this team, just going to be a tripping penalty. Just once Batchelder gets rolling, he's got some wheels, and Humphrey just kind of lost the step on him and stuck the stick out. So another challenge for Elk River to get through. But that has to be considered one of the speediest lines in the state as far as Luloff, Batchelder, and Holt.
Back up to Steves with it now. Steves will walk to the forehand. It's checked off his stick to center ice. It goes. Here's Luke Middlestad on an angle. He's bothered on the play. Nice job by Johnson, but now it's Luke Middlestad to the left wing. Hustling into this one's going to be, oh, nice check there. John Middlestad as he tried to find an angle, but he was cut down. Stansberry now. He's going to guide this back in behind the net. Now it's John Middlestad with it. Watches it bounce down from the dasher to the ice. Walking is Steves through traffic. Scores! Oh, that's what Ben Steves could do. Hangs on to it, then he goes against the grain, shelf to the glove. 5-1 Eden Prairie.
And that's going to be his second goal of the night and 6th of the season. I thought Eden Prairie might have been guilty of an infraction right in front of the referee that was uncalled. It allowed Steves to actually grab it. You could see the angle from where we're sitting. He went high glove, and it was a very good shot by Steves. He's been known to do that to a goaltender or two. But now it's 5-1, 5:55 left in the second period.
Steves' 6th marker of the season. I said he looks like a 30-goal scorer to be here, and he's going to be playing a very difficult schedule. But, you know, I mean, 30 in the high school league is like 60 in the show when you think about it.
Yeah, and he's a focused player. I mean, opposing teams are made aware that when he's on the ice. So even with all that attention, he's still having success.
I like that he doesn't have the desire to play with a ton of flash. He has more of a desire to play with a ton of substance, which is what we're looking for. Flipped up into the air to the neutral zone. He could play for me anytime. Langenbrunner across the line, and that one's whistled down. Offside.
Well, I think if you're Elk River coach Gustafson, and I'm not trying to put on the coach's hat, but you just want to finish this last 5 minutes and 4 seconds very strong, playing the right way, stay out of the penalty box, but see if we can get down and put some pressure on the young goaltender for the Eagles, Eli Andrews. Not a lot of activity down here, so he might be a little cold, but they have to kind of manage the neutral zone. Looks like they might have a pretty good chance, but this Eden Prairie defense is just playing lights out this period, Pete.
Well, it's, you know, you tend to forget that you think of them as an offensive juggernaut, but they also defend really quite well, and they step up in the play, and they add to this team offensively, but it's the defensive posture that they can bring as well, which is so impressive. Britton watches that one. Humphrey now works the forecheck all the way to Busby now, right wing side. Forces up the wing, up and out of play as it's on the Elk River bench. Well,
Again, some sustained pressure, albeit on the forecheck, but they're making Eden Prairie work. That's what you want to do, but faceoff not going to be to Andrews' right. 4:27, win this faceoff, put some pressure on, build some confidence, but build a foundation one brick at a time. It's a good time to put a brick down right here.
Ooh, Bart Archer. Britton will see to it that he will destroy that construction project. Sent back in behind the net. Andrews watches back in left wing side. It's Luloff. Ahead he goes to Batchelder. He'll guide it across the line. Luloff, or Busby rather, his shot wide of the mark. Oh, they go out front. That one to the slot area. Don't forget, coming up at 8:30 in a little over an hour and 10 minutes or so, it will be Edina and Grand Rapids in the second of the two games here tonight. Also, don't forget, you can jump over to another channel too, as well, as we've got Minnetonka going at it with St. Michael Albertville. They're underway. The Mites, though, apparently had themselves a nice long shift, as things that Matt Harrington has already said. He said they were hilarious. He loved it. Speaking of Mites, at the mnhockey.tv, we'll be streaming the girls 8U shot wide of the mark. The girls 8U, oh, there's a turnover. We'll get to that later. Riku Brown with Steves. Brown drop pass for John Middlestead, who he had an angle, but then lost the handle. Rolled up on him, then Stroh blocks.
Yeah, it was a nice play by Stroh on that one. Kind of a trying moment.
Took the angle away. Eagles are going to get whistled down for a penalty here. Take a look at this one up high in the slot area.
Well, it's going to be a tripping penalty to the Eagles, as you said. And I think that's going to be to Riku Brown. Looks like he's the guilty party, but this is really what the Elk River Elks needed. They're only 4 good shots against a very good team down, but it's a good place to start. It might give them a little energy, and it doesn't mean they have to score. They just have to possess the puck and put some pressure on the Eden Prairie goaltender, force him to make a play. So far this period, they haven't been able to do that, but what a great opportunity it is right now.
Played up to the left wing side. Batchelder and the Eagles are going to carry out of the zone. No need to dump. Now it's Batchelder. Leaves that one back to Stansberry. Back over for Luke Middlestead. Looks up to the left wing side. Instead finds an opening and flutters it back into the Elk River zone. Back in behind the net. Greniak with it now. He has 4 points on the season so far for his squad. Greniak to the left wing side. That's deflected away off Holt's stick. Luke Middlestead kicks it, but not out. Reaches and gets it back, and he's so strong. To the right wing side for Holt, had to reach back and regroups instead. Stansberry with 1:14 to go in the second, 2:45 to go, or 2:15 rather to go in the period. Boy, the eyes are going if you don't see that from here.
Welcome to the club.
It was a nice little glare coming down. I'm making an excuse.
It's off my forehead.
Michaelis, let's leave that one be. Now it's going to be Langenbrunner or the back of mine.
That looked offside.
Take your choice. Cross the line, backhand opportunity fails to click, as it's going to be Humphrey looking up the left wing side. There's a wrist shot down the wall as Humphrey to the corner, as he has Eden Prairie's Tyler Johnson, who scored his first goal of the season a little bit earlier here in the hockey game, all over him. Nice check there. Langfels cuts that one off.
Stop some forward progress on that one.
Turned and played back up. Glove down by check that by Skyberg. The red and white color schemes can play a little bit of a curveball on you. The Eagles have that new logo that they're rocking right now. Pad save made by Andrews. Saw it at the last moment. Casey. Now Pergandy comes away with it. Down to the knees. Plays this one up to the line. And rink wide it goes. Wrister, glove save, Andrews again. 1:03 to go in the period. Nice push here at the end of the power play by Elk River.
Well, it was a good shot by Schott. He was just on top of the left circle. Took that shot, but Andrews did a nice job of tracking that puck. Hasn't seen a lot of action. That one might have had a bit of a challenge to it, but he made that save look pretty easy. We're back to 5-on-5, minute 3 seconds left. Elk River with some good zone time, but Eden Prairie's defense is just very smothering. Didn't allow Elk River really any space or any chance to get a sequence going. But it all starts in the face-off dot. And this is Bjorn Franke against John Middlestad.
Franke and Middlestad with $1:03 to go in the period. Eagles get the draw. Middlestad, ooh, he had Steves off to the races, forced to touch up are the Elks with 1 minute remaining in the period. Busby over for Britton. Ooh, big collision there. And on goal, Andrews wisely covers that one up as he had heat coming his way.
But even those little things, just getting the puck, making the goaltender freeze the puck. They had 2 players coming in case there was a misplay or a second chance. So those are the little things that you can kind of start to build on. But Elk River really has to start winning some of these face-offs. Find the way to do that to maintain possession, but they haven't had a great amount of success this second period in the dots.
Back in behind the net it goes. Now here comes John Middlestad, drop pass for Busby, quick touch pass, Steves. Well, the Eagles, you can tell, love to play in off the transition game, don't they?
Yeah, indeed they do, and they brought Batchelder out to play with Middlestad and Steves. Finished the period strong.
Now it's going to be Middlestad with a wrister. Ooh, up high, you're right, finished strong right there, and a nice save by Kojal as he comes up big again. To the right wing side they come with a shot by Johnson, a little pass to the slot that gets turned aside. Oh, and there's Humphrey. He had an opportunity late there in the period to make something happen. Instead, that ends it, and the score reads 5-1. Bart, how about a quick scoring summary before we hit our between-period intermission?
Well, we're going to start in the first period. It was Fertel that scored his first for Elk River at the 17-second mark. Then it was Riku Brown that scored his second from Steves and John Middlestad at 5:53. Then it was Johnson again scoring, or Tyler Johnson scoring his first for Eden Prairie from Langfels and Middlestad. That's where he rounded out the first period. Then it was Tyler Johnson again scoring his second goal of the game, second goal of the season. And then it was Steve scoring his 5th from John Middlestad and Riku Brown at 7:39. And then it was Steve's rounding out the scoring his second goal of the period and 6th goal of the season. And that's where we are, 5-1, Pete Wagner. I'll get the shots on goal before the next period.
Attaboy. We continue more with the tradition, Edina Holiday Classic. Eden Prairie leads 5-1.
You know, the difference maker is just the, the personal interest level we take, where it's just more than a job. We really feel, passion for serving the clients and really taking care of them. I think the loan officer group we have, it's not about the money, it's about the satisfaction when you're sitting at the closing table with the clients and you've done a good job for them and they're happy, and you see the joy that you bring their families. Helping be a guide for someone when they're going through what quite typically is the largest single investment someone's going to make in their life, their home, for that trust they place in us. It's really satisfying to be able to provide that service. And I think that there's a little bit of a oversimplification of what the mortgage process is really all about, and certainly the ability to close a transaction quickly and with the least amount of brain damage involved, I can appreciate, but there's a tremendous amount of thought that needs to go into the selection of the product itself, and then to be able to sit down with a experienced professional is extremely important to make sure you're making the right choice. And once we've come to that conclusion that this does make sense and the customer does want to move forward, certainly being able to fast track it and use all the technology available to get to the closing table as fast and as efficiently as possible.
Hockey continues on the mnhockey.tv, and we're proud to bring in the man, Chad Schumacher from Tradition Wealth Management. Chad, you and I have been at this for a couple of years now, and I've been able to watch firsthand with what your organization's been able to do, not only as a wealth management firm, but what you've done in the community, and you're very engaged in it with lots of locations. So can you give us a little bit of a history lesson of where you've been and where this has gone and where it's going?
Yeah, so Tradition Wealth Management, we started in 2003 with a couple different partners that came from large institutions with a dream, and we started in a conference room with one phone between 6 employees. and now in February and Valentine's Day we'll be 17 years old.
I'd like to have seen what that wrestling match for that one phone looked like between those employees. That must have been something else.
It was good.
So you have locations really spread throughout the Twin Cities. Can you share those locations and strategically how you landed there?
Yep. We've been in Edina since existence, and so this is where our largest operation is. And now we've recently opened up offices in Woodbury, North Oaks, downtown St. Paul by the Tria Center, and out in Wayzata.
And then in terms of employees, what kind of coverage do you have from that respect?
I think we're up to 17 employees right now. We're still looking to grow. We're trying to hire a couple of really experienced teams to help engage with clients going forward.
You guys have been very engaged in the community throughout with lots of initiatives, which has also created some great networking opportunities for those involved. And you've had a lot of things from which to be proud of. Can you touch on some of those things that you as an organization have done?
Well, obviously it starts, we just take care of people. We deliver everything from high net worth strategies all the way to starting people from our 401ks that we work with, just with basic estate planning stuff. So we're really proud of that. We do lead with a comprehensive planning. We try not to turn over all the rocks. We realize every person's has a different set of circumstances, net worths, health issues, you name it. But we try to create a private family office for people who don't have private family offices and help them with all the investment advice that we can give them.
Well, it basically answered my next question of why are you unique, and I'm sure that's pretty much the key thing, right?
Yeah. I'd say, most people hire us. When we're managing assets for people, we're normally managing all the assets that are be able to be managed, and just take their unique set of circumstances and build it to the plan that makes sense for each client we deal with.
We have tons of people out there that watch these games for real, and they all have needs, and I'm sure they're going to want to be able to get a hold of you and your team somehow. I would highly recommend that. What's the best way to reach out to get a hold of you and your team here?
I'd say just call my number. I'd be glad to talk to you and get you in touch with the right person from the right office. My direct line is 952-563-6504.
Chad, thanks a lot. Let's get back at it. Some more hockey action coming up.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Go out of here every day.
Hey, can you give me some coffee? You guys need some help?
Sure. Yeah.
JJ Watt.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Check it out, man.
What are you guys doing out here? We're just doing the right thing. What's the dream? My dream is for people to think twice before they throw something out. I appreciate you having me out.
You can swing a mean net, man.
welcome you back to the third period between Eden Prairie and Elk River in the opener of the Tradition Edina Holiday Classic, featuring 4 teams in 6 games over the span of 3 days. We open up with these 2 teams historically, and you know, when you look at their track record, Bart Archer, against each other at this stage of since 2005, Eden Prairie's record against Elk River 11-2-1.
Well, I think Eden Prairie's got a pretty good record against a lot of teams in the state of Minnesota, but kind of jumps out at you, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then in this round robin play, Edina leads all teams with 35 wins, or 35-7. Eden Prairie 24-16-2. Elk River is 13-27-2, while the Thunderhawks of Grand Rapids are 9-25-2.
Well, there's some wet spots out on the ice that might have an effect on play for at least the first couple minutes.
Interesting.
Indeed it is.
We usually don't see that issue here on this sheet.
No.
Especially one that is early on in a tournament. I get when they got to, you know, but we'll see what happens here. Steves accelerates, wanted short angle, didn't get it, as they'll come to the near corner. Look out, there's Brown. He's had a particularly strong game here today. And back into the corner it goes. Now Steves. John Middlestat. And now it's going to be controlled and played up ice. That was Butchert that was there. Now it's back in behind Coljo. Bart, I'm smiling. Why do you think I'm smiling right now? You want to know?
I do want to know.
Matt Harrington said he's up at Pagel Activity Center and said it's a nightmare with all these kids running around.
Oh, that's awesome.
Sprinting by him with cords. I guarantee his cord management is not the greatest.
Poor Matty.
I just love the complaint he just filed. It was great. Skippers were leading that one 1-0. Johnson in front. There's a shot by Batchelder. Coljo's so good in those battles. Stayed down low, fought it off.
Well, he's got a lot of traffic in front of him, too.
Langenbrunner's shot turned aside by Coljo. Again, saw it at the last second. Waiting on it now. It's going to be Langfels to the corner. Try to feed that to the slot area. Nobody there. Now it's going to be Drew Holt with it. Guides that one back in behind the net. Stroh is there. Batchelder watches them. Stroh now gifts that one back over to his partner. That's Skyberg. Now played right back in behind the net. That by Eden Prairie's Reagan Shepard. Shepard plays with a lot of energy. Tried to cycle that to the corner. That's cut off. And it's going to be Blake Johnson to the left wing. Johnson's shot was deflected. And the Eagles regroup back into their own zone. They're going to play this one to the right wing side. And now it's played back. Bounding puck. Shepard is there. Now it's going to be controlled and turned aside by Luloff. Nice play defensively. Anderson out of the zone, off the boards. Busby goes down in a heap behind the net. Couple of sevens. Busby and Anderson do battle off the end boards. And it'll be up to the line. Down goes a Elk up high on the play. That was Ferry. And the puck is going to be played back in behind the net. Frankie was there. Eagles take over, glass it out to center. That one gets away from Nick Hughes, and it rolls into the Elk zone for an icing call.
Well, a rare icing call against the Eden Prairie Eagles, but Elk River doing a really nice job of not only getting the puck in the zone, but maintaining some possession, and actually put a pretty good shot on Eli Andrews, the goaltender for Eden Prairie, and to relieve some pressure. Eden Prairie forced to send the puck all the way down the ice, face-off now to Andrews' left. But good things. It seems like a little better focus by this Elk team and a little better angles on the forecheck, and really kind of making Eden Prairie work for everything they get.
Now it's going to be the Eagles looking to go inside out. Back in behind the corner they go. Michaelis was there, or John Middlestat rather. Michaelis watching him, a couple of nines. Bart Archer with a very strong source getting that done. Brown plays that back in behind, and a whistle on the play.
Well, you know me, Pete. I can mispronounce Smith or Johnson, but just wanted to go make sure we're doing the right things to show the kids the proper respect. But puck out of play. 13:29 left in this third period. Eden Prairie holding on to a 5-1 lead. Offense is on faceoff. It's Middlestat against Michaelis.
From the right point, deflected wide of the mark.
Music's been vintage tonight by Pat Milan.
Brown, yeah, he's got his A game going for sure.
He turned it up.
He's not messing around. Humphrey is there, I should say. Now I'm saying it. Skyberg plays to Steves. Now Brown is there. Checked on the play. Riku Brown swung back in behind the net, too far for Greniak. And they'll slide back over with Stansberry. Nice play there by the senior. Skyberg, though, nice stick and body positioning.
There really was.
Center ice. Luke Middlestad shown the respect there by Michaelis. Let him have that one. And now stepping up is Stroh. He's going to hand that over for Greniak. Almost didn't get enough on that one as Steves applied the pressure. Back behind the net. Out. That one gets through everyone and back into the Eden Prairie zone it goes.
Might be a penalty on Luke Middlestad. Might be an interference or a trip. But I kind of was watching for that. I thought there might have been an infraction, and the far side ref made that call.
Case.
Yeah, indeed he is. He's not going to win that one. Not from lack of effort, though. But now a great opportunity for Elk River to cut the deficit. Again, it doesn't have to be a goal, but they certainly have a great opportunity right now to kind of take the play back. They started this period with a lot of energy. Now it's up to them to sustain it. Now they have a man advantage. But Eden Prairie, very, very good on the penalty kill, but they can't score. So Elk River's still going to have to mind their defensive responsibilities, even on the power play. Roughing.
So Middlestad for roughing, as Bart said. And it'll be played back in behind the net. Elks will regroup, trailing 5-1. Will want to cut this one to a 3-goal deficit.
Ooh, nice pass. Shot in the corner with Langfels.
He'll battle as he always does off the end boards. And now they'll continue to put that toward the goal mouth area as that's knocked away.
And they had numbers too.
And now it's going to be controlled by the Elks again. Back into the corner. Stroh looks to get it back. Stroh does. As he hangs on to it. Leaves this off to the right point for Skyberg. Good puck movement here. Deflected rebound. Puck sits loose. Swatted away by the Eagles. Nice play. Back up to the center ice area. The Elks, nearly picked off by Batchelder. Got a stick in on Casey, who fought it off. To the left wing side it goes. Stroh deep as they continue to complete their change with Humphrey in on the forecheck. Stroh pushes for Humphrey up high. Humphrey leaves off up to the line. Greniak with it. Now he finds Stroh with it. Humphrey leans on him. Greniak again. Greniak protects. Michaelis is going to carry this one up high. Gets away from the Luloff check. Stick save. Good one there by Andrews. Luke Middlestad on the ice. He's going to, he had an opportunity to go up ice. He's headed toward the bench. He's going to stay out. Now across the line, they go with Pergandy. Drop pass for Middlestad. That misses the mark. And now Luloff is there.
I think Middlestad was trying to go for Luloff for a redirect, so more of a pass than a shot. Take the shot.
Britton shot, deflects, bounces away.
Shepard shot. Kojal, nice save. Tried to go 5-hole on that one. Just walked in at the dot and put a good wrist shot off, but Kojal, pretty good angle on that, but he took away that 5-hole. That's exactly where he was trying to go, but pretty good pressure by Eden Prairie. But again, I like the way that Elk River's playing there. It's not 50-50, but they're starting to kind of close that gap a little bit. But again, defensive zone faceoff. That's Caden Grissel against Harchie, I think. Marble comes up with it in the corner, walks back out. Let me know when you're ready, Pete.
Jorgensen takes over, And now it's played back through, working on some tweaking here of the broadcast. We'll have it all dialed up for the rest of this period for you. Jorgensen, brought down on the play. Maybe the stick got in there, but not enough, I guess. And they're going to race this one back up ice. Turn back over, Eagles across the line. Busby with speed. Looks for Jorgensen in the slot area.
Another good stick by Skyberg.
And now it's Britton with it. They look rink wide. And turned away. Nice job by the defense there by Casey. Shot and a pad save. Nice job again by Andrews. Boy, these are some nice looking program books we have here. I tell you, I wonder who did those. From the left wing side, it's Brown. And now,
watch out for that, watch out for that rotator cuff, Pete.
Oh, it's fully sprained. I've got the sling out front. Jorgensen, nice stick check by Greniak. Got enough of that right there. Greniak's going to finish a check on Jorgensen, but John Middlestad comes over to take over. Now there's some extracurriculars and some slashes, and the Eagles are going to go.
Well, don't go too far, Mr. 45. Got a little aggressive on that one, but Greniak really did a nice play on that one. He not only interrupted the stride or the scoring opportunity, but he brought him to the wall, finished a check, and separated him on that one, and actually frustrated Jorgensen enough to take a swat at him. So, again, Elk River on the power play, not horribly effective. They're hovering around 12%, so definitely some room for improvement, but they get their chance right here on the power play. Just 8:02 left in this third period. Elk River down by 4.
They've had a good third period.
I think so, too.
You know, I mean, they've responded. You know, the Eagles opened up in that second period, and, Elk River's basically pushed back here. I mean, they haven't gotten the result, but they've been spending a lot of time in the offensive zone.
Well, and their positioning's better. Their angles are better. They're winning one-on-one battles, so they're creating their opportunity through a lot of hard work.
I think this team looks very good. Back in across the line. There's a snapper. Kogel to save. Steves looks out front. Kogel will make the save and hang on again.
Well, it was Middlestad that had the initial offering on that, and it was Kogel that made the save, but the puck came right on Steves into his skates, tried to redirect it with his skates without a kicking motion. He had pretty athletic play on that one, but Kogel did his job, kept the puck out of the net. Faceoff's going to be to his left. 7:34 left in the period, and 1:33 left in the penalty to Eden Prairie's Jorgensen.
Great job by our own Tanner Lalick getting the job done as he slowed it down right at the last minute on that replay. That was like butter. Loved it. In front of the bench area.
It's not even a surprise anymore.
No, you come
continues to amaze.
You do come to expect it now, don't you? Michaelis to the corner. Langfells was there. Now it's Humphrey with it as he turns away from traffic. Austin Humphrey working the phone booth right now. Try to cycle it to the corner. Greniak plays that one to the corner. Lost an edge, went down. I don't know if he was guided or not, but nonetheless, rolling puck, no ice on the play. Kogel will play this one, and turning it back up is Blake Johnson. Johnson, right wing side, checked on the play, and the Eagles will regroup D-to-D in their own zone. Oh, that's right, we have the penalty.
Yep.
33 to go. Power play continues for the Elks. Skyberg. Now Stroh. And that's going to be taken back over by Skyberg as he has to wait for his mates to jump back on side. Casey was there. Eagles deny the line. It's going to be Batchelder. He's been really good tonight. Carter Batchelder's shot misses the mark. Kogel, though, makes the save as he gets the pad down.
Actually, that was Luloff that he just had the speed of Batchelder on that one, but really a nice kill so far by Eden Prairie. They're actually putting some pressure on the Elk River. Elks in their own zone, just 7 seconds left, and Jorgensen will come back. But pretty good speed by Eden Prairie. They have speed top to bottom, very difficult for any team to contain.
6:09 to go in the period. We'll be pretty much right on the nose at 8:30 for Edina.
It's a little
and
unusual.
Grand Rapids. Look out off the bench. There's Shepard again. Loves to throw the leather.
He's got some energy to his game, doesn't he?
No doubt about it. Not saying there, he's jammed by Luloff. And now across the line it's Jusela who's checked on the play, but the Elks stay with it. Now it's Luloff again. He's got a man in front and Batchelor. Blocker pad save. Kojal, strong goaltender. I just like how he approaches.
Indeed, and that was a good shot, too, that he made that save on Blocker's side. Not an easy one.
He made it look like child's play there. Now here's Shepard across the line as he's checked on the play. And it's going to be the Elks' Casey with it with 5:10 to go here in the third period. Back in front of the bench area they go. Checked on the play, just denied real estate was Johnson. And now out of the zone they go with Johnson. Tyler Johnson, that is, for the Eagles. Poke check there right into the gear of Batchelor. Oh, nifty through the legs. Off the side of the net it goes. Left wing on the outlet. Here come the Elks. Shut with it. They're 2-on-3 across the line. They've now got a trailer to turn it into a 3-on-3. Shutt lays that one up to the right side. That shot taken by Stroh. Out of play.
You know, one thing that I've noticed about Elk River is they got some young players that can scoot. I'm speaking of 21 Blake Johnson. I'm also speaking of Caden Casey, number 14 in the white. They've really turned in some strong games today. They showed some good speed and really kind of matching stride for stride with a very speedy Eden Prairie team. So there are some good things going on with Elk River. They just ran into a juggernaut that really didn't make a mistake in that second period, and that's where this game was actually something they couldn't recover from or haven't been able to so far.
Puck is played back into the corner, steered away by the stick of Andrews. The wrist shot from the right point by Skyberg off the end boards, and we have a whistle on the play. Looks like the net just got knocked a little bit off its posts there.
Yeah, just enough to warrant the whistle, but I think it was initiated by Kojal or Andrews, so that's why it's going to stay. But it was Michaelis that actually tried to go short side, and those lively end walls here at Braemar Arena put the puck on the state. Obviously a shallow angle, tried to bank it off the goaltender. Really a heady play, didn't quite work out. 4:23 left in the third period.
Eagles and Elks in the third period here. No scoring so far. Luke Middlestat, poke checked off his stick, quickly turning up. It's Michaelis, he can move. He has Humphrey with him, goes to the right wing. They load up, shoot, save, rebound. Humphrey's there, tried to poke that one through, and what a save made by Andrews.
Well, it was Elk River that came through the neutral zone with some speed. It was a nice job by Michaelis to get that puck over, and I think it was to Fertel. He put a good shot on. Fertel, the early goal scorer in that first period, and then it was Humphrey there for a second chance opportunity. But Andrews did a nice job of taking away, getting down low and taking away those high percentage shots or high percentage scoring areas. So nice job by the Eden Prairie goaltender. Hasn't been called on much, but when he has, he's done a good job.
Ooh, bounding puck. Ooh, we've seen him pitch the shutout. And he's been very strong here in this one. Take away the first 17 seconds. And he's been perfect ever since again.
Indeed he has. The team's playing very well in front of him as well.
Now it's the Eagles racing back up ice. Jammed on the play. I love it, though. Jorgensen keeps going. Wow, that didn't stop him at all. Just stayed with it.
But Greniak
sounded worse than it was.
Well, it was still pretty good by Greniak on that one. But yeah, that's one thing about speed. It's very hard to kind of contain. You have to time it just perfectly. And Greniak did a nice job, but again, Eden Prairie powered through it. But puck up and out of play. It's going to remain in the Elk River zone. It looks like it's going to be to Colgill's right. 3:28. And kind of getting down in that area where you just want to finish the period strong, play the right way. If you can punch one in, great. But Elk River's just got to get some positives. They've been working awful hard. It'd be nice to see them get rewarded with a couple at least good opportunities.
Caden Casey is just a freshman.
Yeah.
And he plays beyond his years. He does not look like a freshman out there, and he's been really solid.
No, he's been notable, that's for sure. A couple players have. I mean, this Elk River team's got some. They got some talent.
Well, I mean, they sit in the Section 7 AA. We'll see another one of them here in Grand Rapids coming up shortly. It's going to be an interesting section. You know, a lot of things to talk about there.
Yep.
You know, Cloquet-Esco Carleton's a very good hockey club. Never count out the Duluth East Greyhounds, and of course there's Andover and the Huskies. I mean, they're top 10, top 5 team right now. Pad save. Oh, Kojal.
Nice adjustment on that one.
Pinball flipper on that one.
Yep.
Big time nice adjustment. Reaching for that loose puck now as it's going to be Skyberg. He gets that back. Skyberg looks up ice. That one too far. Casey was there. There's a pass that's turned aside and back up ice they go. Nice job to adjust against the grain for Blake Johnson. Humphrey with speed in the off wing behind the net. looks for some help. Instead, cycles quickly back in behind the net. Busby is there. Now Michaelis with it. Looks out front. That's deflected off Humphrey right into the goal stick of Andrews. You know, Lee Smith's got 2 goaltenders he can trust. That much we know through this game. If he didn't know coming in, he does now.
I think he had a pretty good idea.
Boy, Stroh put some juice on that one. Just missed the goal mouth area there. As it's Pergandy with it back in behind the net.
And I think Coach Gustafson for the Elk River has a pretty good goaltender to work with as well. And
oh, yeah, you
Elk
think?
River's had a long line of just quality goaltenders.
Shallow angle shot. Koljo makes a save. We remember him over the past couple of years through these. And then, of course, the tradition in the park. We'll see him again coming up next week as well in that series. Boy, we have 5 top 10 teams in the St. Louis Park pool. There's 2 pools, St. Louis Park and Plymouth. That's deflected wide of the mark. 1:16 to go and counting here. Quick snapper by Riku Brown as he danced his way toward the goal mouth area.
Well, Riku Brown has a good propensity to find the open spaces. He's big enough and quick enough to actually create, but he just gets into the areas where he can get the shot off or make the proper play. Because there were a couple of Elk River Elks surrounding him. He just picked the right spot, put a good shot on Kojal, made another save. 1:11 to go in this third period.
Face-off win. Jorgensen is there. Frankie was in on the draw for the Elks. Kicked out of the corner. Stansberry plays for Luke Middlestad. Nice feed. Quick wrist shot there, in on goal by Jorgensen. Nice job by Koljo to make the read.
Well, another good one, but it was on top of the right circle, but it was Jorgensen. Good quick release. Shot with a little velocity on it, hit him right in the ER, and he contained that one because there was plenty of support down low. So nice job by the Elk River goaltender again.
Stansberry for Luke Middlestad, wide of the mark. As they try to center the feed there, do the Eagles. That was Hartle. He's joined up front as well. Marble in on the play. Jorgensen as well. They missed the mark to the line. Now Jorgensen. This line's hungry. They've been sitting on the bench for a bit. We've seen a couple shifts. Now Hartle races over to his right wing side. Checked on the play. Nice body thrown there by Blake Johnson. Back in across the line. Wrist shot that deflects away from Luke Middlestad with 13 to go. All the way around to the near side. Stansberry just tosses that right back into the corner. Eagles, the leg over the boards. There's a shot. Oh, that hit the post. Rebound. No, they keep it out of that. They score right as the clock runs out. Eagles get a late one, and they're going to go on to win by a score of 6-1. That did count. There's probably about 0.7 seconds left as that thing finally hit the back of the net.
Yeah, and I think that was going to be Ben Steves with his 3rd goal of the game, 7th of the year. That'd be a natural hat trick for him, but you have to feel for Kojal. He did everything he could to keep the puck out of the net. Elk River did a decent job of actually defending him, but I think that Eden Prairie would get behind him and just have their way. But, you know, a good showing by Eden Prairie. Was it a perfect game? Not necessarily, but they did so many things well, especially that second period. I think they played almost mistake-free hockey. But Elk River did a nice job of showing their character and resolve coming back in that third period and actually contesting. Obviously, 6-1 isn't what you want to see in the scoreboard, but I thought their play tonight was a little bit better than the score would indicate.
That'll do it here. The final score reads the Eden Prairie Eagles 6 and the Elk River Elks 1. A good hockey game between these two to open up the Tradition Edina Holiday Classic here in 2019. Grand Rapids and Edina will be taking to the ice. We're going to jump out of this stream. We'll bring you back onto another stream at about 8:30 when that game starts. Feel free to step on over. We got the game going on, a live automated game between Hopkins and St. Michael Albertville. That looks like, what's that score say there, Tyler?
Did you say Hopkins or Minnetonka?
Tanner. Geez, I said Tyler again. Still 2-2. Good one over at the Hopkins pad between those two teams. Or you can go over to the Minnetonka Boys channel and check out the
Skippers, STMA?
Oh, this is Bloomington Kennedy Hopkins. Sorry.
Yep.
STMA and the Skippers.
That's what got me confused.
That's a good one
Okay.
going on over there. I just checked it out, whatever. We'll be back at 8:30. So long, everybody.